Have you ever created anything from scratch? I've created a few things from scratch, and sometimes it can be hard to do. Most things that I've created, I used a pattern from something else. But Genesis says that God created everything in the universe from nothing. And that's pretty amazing. Join me today as we take a quick look at the Proverbs and see how God created and sustains the entire universe through wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Read with me Proverbs chapter 3, verse 19 and 20. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundations. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the watery depths were divided, and the clouds let drop the dew. The first thing we see from these verses is that God used wisdom to create the universe. After all the centuries of mankind's investigations into creation, we are only just beginning to scratch the surface of how incredible creation really is. Think about the infinite wisdom it took to make everything in the universe. From the smallest germ to the largest galaxy, it all came from the mind of God. There is no way that any human could ever begin to conceive such complexity, much less create it. Consider the earth, the human body, and the heavens. Who else but God could fathom how to make a planet like Earth that could sustain life like Earth does? Everything about it is in perfect synchronization to sustain life. Also, God set the sun, the moon, the stars, and the galaxies in place. Think about the wisdom that it took to put the solar system in perfect operation so that the planets wouldn't collide. Psalm 19 verse 1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge." Consider the human body. What an incredible marvel of bioengineering. Humans can't even come close to replicating it. Psalm 139 verse 14 says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Secondly, we see that God uses knowledge to control the natural laws of the world. God feeds the earth and its inhabitants through the system of water cycles. By knowledge, God sustains every living thing on earth through evaporation, rain, rivers, and the oceans of water. What an amazing work that God did on the second day of creation. Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 6 says, "And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day." So what does all of this teach us? Well, if God used His knowledge to establish the laws that control the world and everything in it, then how much more do we need knowledge in our lives? How much more do we need to seek God's wisdom in our world? The answers to the problems of people and the problems of our world can be found in wisdom from the Lord. There is no substitute for wisdom. Nothing, absolutely nothing, is of greater value than God's wisdom.